Congratulations if you've made money off of these 10 stocks I'm about to go over. The first one is XOM. It ended the day at $110.70. It is up nearly 3%. This is where we are right now. To the north side, if we make it to 2 standard deviations, that takes us to $121.47. Back to the middle of the trend, that would be roughly $87.95. I last looked at this chart when it was $86.41, and that is a return right now of 26%. But had you purchased it down here and rode it up to this level, that is an increase of 272%. This right here is a buy signal for me. Whoops. Down here. And this here is a sell signal for me, a sell signal. And here we're getting very close to 2 standard deviations. So I would consider this also a sell signal, but I would keep my eyes on that and look at the chart. And speaking of the chart, let's take a look at the RSI. It is basically at 70, the overbought area. So I do anticipate this going sideways and people taking their profits and they're running, and then possibly after that going back up for another leg up to 3 standard deviations and possibly even 4. And this is an old price target right here of $174. So I do need to update that. The MACD also running, and that looks pretty high. So this has a lot of room to move to. The highest the RSI has ever gotten in the past is roughly at 88. So I would keep my eyes on this if you are in this as a day trade or a swing trade. The next one is Lockheed Martin. I've talked about this many times in the past. We are at $484.87, up nearly 3%. Right here to the upside is $506.60, and at 4 standard deviations, that would be $561.84, which lines up with an old price target as well. This line right here is money, and this is the jackpot. We're not quite there yet. So to the downside, at 2 standard deviations, should we fall apart and people start taking their profits, that would be roughly at 451-ish. And that lines up with another price target as well that the analysts have predicted. And to the south side of that, should we make it back to the middle of the trend, roughly $341.18. Let's take a look at the RSI. Almost at 70, and the highest we've gotten is 90. The MACD crossed over to the upside, and it looks like it is still running. And these are both running, so that to me kind of indicates on the monthly time frame that there's definitely more room to the upside. The next one is Dollar General. I talked about this back on February 18th when it was $199, and I haven't really talked about it again. Oh, I guess I did. I checked in on April 15th at $248, and could this be a sell signal right here? We're not at quite the high of a price prediction from the analysts, but we are at basically the 52-week high. And the RSI going up, not quite hitting the overbought territory yet, but getting dangerously close there. The MACD crossing over to the upside. And let's take a look at Chevron. I've talked about this many times in the past as well. And we are now at $179.80. To the north side of that, at 4 standard deviations, is $195.81. An old price target right here was $223. To the south side would be $131.48. Let's take a look at the RSI. Getting close to 70. And the highest we've ever gone on the RSI, it looks like roughly, we peaked out at 83. So definitely keep your eyes on that range. But again, the RSI going up, the MACD also going up. This was a buy signal, a buy signal, a buy signal, a buy signal. Here is a sell signal, and look what happened. Tanked and consolidated, went sideways, up, down, and then this right here is another sell signal, another sell signal. And this could be another possible sell signal where the stock falls apart. People are taking their profits and they're running. And then down the road, it could go up another leg. So it just depends on how you like to play the market. A lot of opportunities to the upside and to the downside if you like to short this stock. All right, the next one is Fslr. Talked about this many times in the past as well. We are now at 132.67. You can use the grid here, the crosshairs, for price predictions as well, or ranges. So to the north side, we're looking at 161, which lines up, look at that, with a former price prediction that I talked about a while ago. And then to the south side would be roughly 118, 120-ish. Let's take a look at the RSI. Starting to go sideways at 70 here. Whenever we hit this range, I do anticipate a pullback as people take their profits and they're running. And this has crossed over to the upside here. All right, let's take a look at Merck. The RSI shooting straight up, getting close to 70, which is my sell signal here, or anticipating a little sell-off before a possible leg up as well. All right, let's take a look at this. I last talked about this when it was $88.69, but I also talked about it when it was $75.69. And here we are to the north side, 111.77, and to the middle, to 2 standard deviations takes us to roughly $94.50, an old price target there. And back to the middle of the trend is $62.08. The RSI shooting up. Again, the MACD also going up. The next one is Deere & Company, ended the day at 396.85. The RSI going up, getting close to 70. That's when I start paying attention. I start paying attention when we also get to 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations, and 4 standard deviations. The MACD crossing to the downside, but now it looks like it might cross over here, but I'm not sure if that's going sideways or to the north side. All right. The next price target up, if we should go up, is 423.27. And if we make it to 3 standard deviations, back down, that is 371.54. And at 2 standard deviations, $319.82. The next one is Oxy. Again, I've talked about this many times in the past. I'll tell you what my buy and sell signals were. This is a sell signal for me, another sell signal, pretty close to 2 standard deviations, which indicates to me another sell signal. And this right here, this range at 2 standard deviations and below, that's a buy signal, a buy signal, a buy signal. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Support, support, support. And basically, we are at the middle of the trend where a lot of stocks tend to just hover before dropping or going to the north side. So if we go back up at at the middle of the range, that would be, right now we're at 71.84, to the north side, 77.14, and at 2 standard deviations on the monthly, that is 126.95. And to the south side, your range is 27.58. I don't think we're going to get back to that level. Keep my fingers crossed on that one. But again, that's on the monthly time frame. So we're talking big picture here. The next one is Enph. I've talked about this many times also in the past. And if you had purchased down here, which I did not obviously track it at the bottom here, but I did catch it at 141.23 back in February. But had you purchased it then and you held strong, you would have been up right here at 172%. But right now we are at 166% from this low to this high. Let's take a look at the RSI. Approaching 70 and going sideways here. So I do anticipate, again, a pullback, the MACD crossing over to the upside. So that's good. We need both of these to go up to show us that the stock is continuing to run. But I did talk about this when it was $305 back on September. And then we went down a little bit and back up again. So obviously, the stock moves up and down and gyrates. It just doesn't always go straight up. You always anticipate some pullbacks and going down. Now, the next one is XOP, the oil and gas ETF here. It ended the day at $149.27. And I have tracked it in the past. Let's take a look at the RSI starting to shoot up and getting close to 70. So you want to pay attention if you are in this trade. And the next one is, the MACD is crossing over to the upside. So that's good to see. And that is going straight up. So there definitely is room to move, I think, up on the monthly time frame. And to give you another level, if you use the crosshairs, that's 160 to the north side, and then to the south side, 139, 140-ish. All right, and look at this note. Energy stocks about to run out of steam, possibly. They have had a really good run from down here to this level is a 449% return on your money. So that does it for me. Those are the stocks I wanted to quickly go over and show you that they are running, which to me means there could be some pullback on that. So you want to check out the linear, the RSI, and the MACD, and obviously the candlesticks as well if you like to use that. All right, if there's a stock that you would like me to go over, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching.